Listen up, Rams House. We have a situation brewing in Los Angeles that you need to hear about right now. The offseason is supposed to be quiet, but nobody told Puka Nacua because shots have been fired, bridges are burning, and an old friend just turned into a new enemy. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. While the locker room deals with the noise, the front office is plotting a massive overhaul that could change the face of our defense forever. We are talking about bold moves and critical mistakes. You cannot afford to miss this breakdown. Let's go.
We begin with a developing story that is shaking up the NFC West rivalry before a single snap has even been played this offseason. Today, February 12th, significant friction has emerged involving our star receiver Puka Nacua and his former teammate linebacker Ernest Jones. In a video appearance that has since gone viral, Nacua was asked about the division rival Seattle Seahawks. Instead of the standard diplomatic answer, Puka explicitly stated that the Seahawks are not that good, effectively dismissing their threat level in the division. This comment did not sit well with the opposition, and specifically, it triggered a harsh response from Ernest Jones. Jones, who knows the inner workings of our locker room better than anyone, took immediate exception to the disrespect, issuing a stern warning to Nacua. The back and forth has created a personal vendetta that is sure to escalate when these two teams meet. Now, let me switch gears and tell you exactly what I think about this, because this is the kind of stuff that drives me absolutely crazy. I love Puka Nacua. The kid is a sensation. He broke rookie records. He is the future of this offense. But what in the world are you doing giving bulletin board material to a division rival in the middle of February? You do not wake the sleeping bear when you don't have to. It is unnecessary. The Seahawks are listening. Ernest Jones is listening. This is a man who was a leader on our defense, a man who was traded away and already has a massive chip on his shoulder the size of SoFi Stadium. And now Puka goes out there and validates every negative feeling Jones might have? It is a tactical error of the highest order. We are trying to build a championship culture here, and that requires discipline. Discipline of the mind and discipline of the mouth. When you look at the NFC West, it is a dogfight every single year. The 49ers are looming, the Cardinals are improving, and now you want to pour gasoline on the fire with Seattle? Ernest Jones didn't just leave on good terms, he was moved out. He wants to take heads off, and now thanks to these comments, he is going to be circling the calendar for the Rams game with a red marker. I want my receivers hungry. I want them confident, but there is a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and today, Puka cost it. You have to be smarter than that. You have to understand the optics. This team needs focus, not distractions. We need to be worried about how we get back to the Super Bowl, not engaging in social media wars with guys who used to share a huddle with us. This is the kind of immaturity that can derail a season's focus before it even starts if it isn't checked immediately. Sean McVay needs to get in there and remind everyone that we do our talking between the white lines.
Before we dive into the defensive overhaul that is about to shake up the entire draft board, stop what you are doing. If you want the real truth about the Rams that the mainstream media won't tell you, hit that subscribe button right now. We need to pivot immediately to the war room because the latest intel coming out of ESPN regarding the Rams draft strategy is absolutely fascinating and points to a major shift in philosophy. Today, February 12th, new mock draft projections from ESPN insiders have linked the Los Angeles Rams directly to the University of Tennessee. The data suggests that the Rams are not just looking at one player, but are potentially targeting two cornerbacks from the Volunteers program to reinforce the defense. The term being used around the league is a desire to rejuvenate the secondary. The scouting department is reportedly enamored with the athletic profile of the Tennessee defensive backs, viewing them as immediate impact starters for the upcoming season. Let's break down the strategy here, because this is a strategic move that speaks volumes. Why Tennessee? Because they play in the SEC, the closest thing we have to the NFL. These kids are battle-tested against elite receivers every single Saturday. But more importantly, look at the word rejuvenate. That is front office code for we were too slow and too old last year. Les Snead and Sean McVay are looking at the tape and realizing that in the modern NFL, you cannot survive without elite speed on the perimeter. We need juice. We need aggression. We need guys who aren't afraid to play man-to-man coverage on an island against the best in the world. The current roster simply does not have enough of that. Seeing the Rams focused on these Tennessee prospects tells me they are acknowledging the cold, hard reality. The current personnel in the secondary is not good enough to win a ring. It is that simple. We are not drafting for depth here. We are drafting for survival.
We are looking for the next Jalen Ramsey, the next shutdown artist who can change the geometry of the field. And if the scouts believe those guys are wearing orange in Knoxville right now, then we need to trust the process. But understand what this means for the veterans on the roster. It puts everyone on notice. If we bring in 2 high-level rookies, jobs are on the line. Starting spots are up for grabs. This is how you build a dynasty. You constantly cycle in premium talent on rookie contracts. It allows you to spend money elsewhere, like on the offensive line or keeping Matthew Stafford happy. But make no mistake, drafting cornerbacks is risky. It is the hardest position to transition from college to the pros. But the Rams don't have a choice. They have to take the swing. The window is open right now, and you cannot waste a year of prime Matthew Stafford with a defense that leaks yardage. This Tennessee connection is real. It is substantial, and it could define the next 5 years of Rams football. And frankly, if you look at what the other analysts are saying, this isn't just a good idea. It is a mandatory requirement.
If you think the mock drafts are just speculation, listen to the cold, hard facts coming from the most respected analysts in the business, because the noise is getting louder and it is impossible to ignore. Today, Thursday, February 12th, reports from both Yahoo Sports and The Athletic have released scathing assessments of the Rams' current roster construction. The consensus is unanimous and alarming. The Rams must use their first-round capital to acquire an elite cornerback. These analysts have pinpointed the secondary as not just a weakness, but the primary reason for the team's inability to close out the biggest games, specifically citing the defensive collapse in the conference championship as the smoking gun. They are absolutely right. This is not rocket science, people. We watched it happen with our own eyes. We watched opposing quarterbacks sit back in the pocket, wait, and then deliver strikes because our coverage broke down at the critical moment. It is unacceptable. You cannot expect the pass rush to get home in 1.5 seconds every single snap. The back end has to hold up. The Athletic is calling it the fatal flaw. Yahoo Sports is calling it priority number 1. I call it common sense. You look at the NFC Championship game, it haunts me. It should haunt every Rams fan. We were right there, but when we needed a stop, when we needed a play on the ball, who was there to make it? Nobody. We were exposed. And these analysts are saying, do not get cute. Do not draft a luxury tight end. Do not draft a project linebacker. You go out there and you get a lockdown corner who can erase the opponent's number 1 receiver. In this league, with the receivers we have to face, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk twice a year, you are bringing a knife to a gunfight if you don't have elite corner play. It is disrespectful to the effort of our offense to put a subpar secondary on the field. Matthew Stafford is playing his heart out. Puka is breaking records. Kyron Williams is running wild. And then the defense gives up a 40-yard bomb on 3rd and long. It is demoralizing. It kills the spirit of the team. So when I see these reports urging the Rams to focus on cornerback, I say amen. It is time to stop applying band-aids to a bullet wound. We need surgery. We need a permanent fix. And that fix has to come in the first round of the draft. No more trading away picks for rentals. We need a cornerstone player in the secondary for the next 5 to 10 years. If we don't address this, we are destined to repeat history. We will make the playoffs, we will win a game or two, and then we will get torched by a superior passing attack. Is that what you want? Because that is not what I want. We need to fix this now.
We are at a crossroads, Rams family. On one side, we have Puka Nacua stirring the pot and creating unnecessary drama with ex-teammates like Ernest Jones. On the other side, we have a glaring hole in our defense that every expert in the world says we must fix immediately. We cannot let distractions derail the mission. The front office knows what needs to be done, but do they have the guts to pull the trigger on a top-tier corner and ignore the noise? I need to hear from you. Is Puka right to trash talk, or does he need to humble himself? And who is the one cornerback you want to see in horns next year? Drop a name in the comments. Let's build this roster together.